The party tent was perched like a sparkling spaceship on a black lake, not one filled with water, of course, but an outspread carpet. Francis Bourdon had the idea of covering the meadow with a platform of boards and laying down carpeting, and when Bourdon, the head of the Loyn Corporation, had an idea, it was Josefa Rehmer's job to make it happen. She thought she'd pulled it off brilliantly once again. The tent was huge. Josefa had dug up one that could accommodate 200 people at small round tables. Almost all the guests were already seated under gilded crystal chandeliers. The white tables were set with black plates on top of gold ones, resplendent with vases of white tulips, and the chairs were also black and gold. The combination of black, white, and gold was another wish of Bourdon's, another of his visions, and Josefa did everything possible to make his ideas a reality. She was fired up. She wondered if anyone could tell just by looking at her how proud she was of her achievement. Loyn had invited its best customers and business contacts to a spectacular show featuring 80 of the most beautiful Arabian stallions in the world. It was one of the biggest events that Josefa had ever organized for her company. Bourdon had insisted that the party would be in St. Moritz at the end of June, in spite of Josefa's fears that the weather might not cooperate. But now she was pleased to see that the warm, early summer air that had descended over the Engadine had soaked up the last drops of moisture from the meadow. The sun's fiery trail was only just disappearing behind the defiant chain of the Alps. This sponsored event had reached its climax an hour ago with a glamorous parade of horses, and now the VIPs were waiting in the tent for hors d'oeuvres, champagne, and exclusive wines already flowing. The ladies were flashing quite a bit of bare skin, expensive jewelry, and perfect teeth. Josefa, in a lime green outfit at the tent entrance, was inspecting the space inside. A name tag identified her as the Manager Event Marketing. Suddenly she had the feeling she was being watched. She turned around as inconspicuously as possible. A thick-set, broad-shouldered man was standing about 50 feet away, smoking a cigar. Their eyes met. Josefa did a quick mental rundown of the guest list. Of course, Turing. Beat Turing, the once much celebrated CEO of Swixon, before the company went broke and Turing had a great fall, a well-cushioned one, as Josefa clearly remembered. Turing had siphoned off lots of money, many, many millions, in fact, beforehand. She'd read it in the papers. This made him persona non grata in the Zurich economic establishment, at least for a while. Why Turing was back on Loyn's VIP list puzzled Josefa. But that was none of her business. As the organizer, she had no choice but to be friendly, cigar smoke and all. "You've already found your seat in the tent, am I right, Herr Turing?" she asked helpfully. Beat Turing moved his cigar away from her. There was something Mediterranean about him. He looked more like a bon vivant than a financial shark. Josefa could easily imagine how his charm had seduced all those people he later victimized. Turing turned the corners of his mouth into an ironic smile. "Today I can enjoy all these beautiful things at the same time. The Engadine Alps, a good cigar, and a wonderful hostess." "And a superb meal as well," Josefa replied without batting an eyelash. "We want our guests to have fond memories of this day." "I thought I'd stretch my legs a bit until the guests of honor get here." He gave her a conspiratorial wink. Josefa never stopped smiling. She knew what she owed her company. "For me, you are one of the guests of honor, Herr Turing," she replied, before making her escape from the smoky cigar. Turing had found a sore spot. The table for the honored guests in the middle of the tent was not yet filled. Josefa scanned the room and spotted Claire Fondy, her assistant, giving final instructions to the restaurant manager. Josefa hurried over. "Where's Joan Carroll? Where's Bourdon and the rest of them?" Claire looked surprised. "Aren't they here yet? They were just leaving the hotel 20 minutes ago. They should be here by now." Bourdon was habitually late. Though he was the head of Loyn, he acted like an eccentric artist, a bohemian in the world of economics, an image he cultivated most effectively for the media.